Ma'am, we found your soaked child in the park. It was 1 a.m. on a stormy night when a police officer suddenly showed up at my door. I was totally confused. After all, my 2-year-old daughter was peacefully sleeping in her bed. The officer had with him a little girl, around 4 years old, wearing tattered clothes and looking frail. She stared at me trembling with tears in her eyes. The officer showed me a note the girl was clutching and had my name and address written on it. Could it be? I suddenly hugged the little girl, and a flood of memories rushed back into my mind. I am Susan, a 33-year-old housewife. I live with my husband Michael, who is the same age, and our 2-year-old daughter Sarah. We have a happy life together, but I have a past I'd rather not remember. It was 5 years ago. I got married for the first time when I was 28. My husband was Joseph, my boss at the company where I worked. Joseph was a generous mentor, and I admired his confidence and his ability to put people at ease. When he asked me out, I dated him for about 6 months and happily accepted his marriage proposal. My family also seemed to have a good impression of him. In particular, my sister Lisa, who is 5 years younger than me, was thrilled to have a great brother-in-law. Joseph even told me, I was surprised he had such a beautiful and cute sister. Lisa was indeed adorable, both in looks and personality. When we were little, she would always follow me around saying, "Susan, I love you." We were really close sisters. After getting married to Joseph, Lisa started coming over to our new home more frequently. Joseph is so mature. I really look up to him. The guys around me are just kids in comparison. I'm flattered that a cute girl like you, Lisa, would compliment me. I felt uneasy watching Lisa grow fond of Joseph and my husband seeming to enjoy the attention, but my intuition eventually proved correct. One day, they both vanished, hand in hand. They left behind a note saying, "Susan, I'm sorry," along with filled-out divorce papers. Life can be dramatic, but who really goes through something like having their husband and sister fall in love? Why couldn't they have just been honest with me? I would have been willing to let Lisa have Joseph. If I could utterly despise them, maybe it would be easier. But in my case, that wasn't how I felt. I filed for divorce immediately, ending my brief marriage within a year. The one who saved me from the depths of despair after being betrayed by my loving husband and sister was my current husband, Michael. We had originally met in a college club. Michael proposed to me 3 years ago after supporting me through my recovery, and we remarried. Our daughter Sarah was born, and life had been peaceful. Then, it happened. Suddenly, at 1 a.m., our doorbell rang incessantly. Despite a raging hurricane outside, I got out of bed after patting my sleeping daughter's head, wondering what on earth was going on. With my husband away on business, I peeked outside cautiously and found a police officer standing there. "We found your soaking wet child in a nearby park." "What? My daughter is sleeping in her bed right now." "That's strange. The child has a note with your name and this address. Could you please open the door to confirm?" When I opened the door, standing there were the police officer and a skinny, drenched little girl about 4 years old. She was dressed in tattered clothes. The note she clutched read, "Please take care of this child," and the handwriting looked familiar. I couldn't help but kneel down and take her icy cold hand. Tears filled her eyes as she stared at me and shivered. This girl is... Suddenly, I hugged her tightly. Memories flooded back to me. I used to hug my younger sister Lisa, who was 5 years my junior, just like this. The child was the spitting image of Lisa, and there was no mistaking that the handwriting on the note was hers. I told the police, "This child is likely my sister's." But what was such a small child doing alone in the park in the middle of the night? "What's your name?" "Jennifer." "Jennifer? Why were you in the park?" "I came to this house with Mom, then Mom disappeared, so I was looking for her." Young Jennifer couldn't explain any further. Worried, Jennifer shivers every time the howling wind and rain intensify. I softly assure her, "She's soaked. If I don't get her into a warm bath and change her clothes, she'll catch a cold." I had some larger clothes a friend had given me, which their kids had outgrown. I got those ready for her. While I'm helping Jennifer out of her clothes in the bathroom, I let out an involuntary gasp. Unbelievably, her body has multiple bruises as if she's been pinched and slapped. My heart tightens thinking what she's been through with such a small body. To top it off, she's wearing a handmade charm hanging from her chest over her undershirt. Curious as I am about it, I put it aside for now and get her into the bath. After the bath, when I comb her hair and dress her in clean clothes, Jennifer looks remarkably refreshed and adorable. She's thin, but she strongly resembles my sister Lisa when she was young. I'm convinced Jennifer is Lisa's daughter. I took her into bed, wrap her in a blanket, and hug her. "Rest easy. Good night," I say. She murmurs, "So warm," and, reassured, falls deeply asleep. The next morning, while Jennifer and Sarah are still sleeping, my mobile phone rings. An unknown number. Cautiously, I answer. No one speaks, but I can hear faint breathing. "Lisa, is that you?" "No, it's me, Joseph. Long time. Glad your number hasn't changed, Susan." "It's my ex-husband, Joseph. What do you want now?" "Strange question, but are you taking care of a girl?" I hesitate, but feign ignorance, recalling last night. "What are you talking about?" "How's Lisa?" Joseph avoids answering and hangs up, saying, "Never mind then." In truth, after Jennifer had gone to sleep, I'd opened the charm and found a letter inside. It read, "Susan, I'm sorry, I know I can't ask for favors now, but please take care of my daughter, Jennifer." Additionally, the letter had shocking revelations that left me trembling with anger. It also provided the location of the bar where my sister works, so I decided to go meet her. I'll leave Sarah and Jennifer with my mom at our family home. Seeing Jennifer, my mom softly holds her and says, "She looks just like Lisa," tears filling her eyes. A week ago, Lisa suddenly called. She said she wanted to apologize in person and asked for your address. So that's how she found me. I had my reservations, but she seemed desperate and kept insisting, so I reluctantly agreed. "I'm sorry." "You did nothing wrong, Mom. Thanks to you, I might be able to help Lisa." "What?" "I'm entrusting these kids to you for that reason." So I left my family home and headed to the bar where Lisa works. It was only a 30-minute taxi ride away. Why didn't she ask for help sooner if she lived so close? I guess Lisa felt she couldn't rely on me no matter how tough things got. The bar was in a quiet corner of the entertainment district. Inside, it was dimly lit and smelled of alcohol and cigarettes. When I asked someone who looked like the owner about Lisa, he called for her right away. Stumbling from the back of the bar, Lisa appeared. The once plump and pretty Lisa I remember was gone. She looked skinny, worn out, and had a sickly complexion. I was lost for words. Lisa, who was still in her 20s, looked like a worn-out woman in her 40s or 50s. "Is that you, Lisa?" "Yeah, Susan, I'm sorry." After she finished saying this, Lisa stumbled and collapsed into my arms. That's when the owner coldly said, "She's not feeling well and can't work. Take her home." Seeing his attitude, I could easily imagine the harsh treatment Lisa had been getting here. I immediately took Lisa to the nearest hospital. The doctor diagnosed her with a severe illness, saying she came too late and doesn't have much time left. Lisa was immediately admitted. Overwhelmed by the news, I returned home and told my mom, who broke down crying. I, too, couldn't hold back my tears anymore. "I'll take care of Jennifer, Mom. Let's support Lisa together." "Yes, I'll do everything I can." Having made this promise with Mom, I took Jennifer and Sarah home. My husband Michael, who returned from a business trip that night, was shocked to see one more child in the house. When I discussed Jennifer with him, he said, "Let's pray for Lisa's recovery. In the meantime, Jennifer can stay with us." The next day, when we took Jennifer to visit her mom in the hospital, she ran up to Lisa crying. "Mom, I've missed you." "Jennifer, I'm sorry. Are you okay?" "Yeah, I'm fine. Aunt Susan is really nice." Tears in her eyes, Lisa lovingly stroked Jennifer's hair. My sister thanked me and gave me something to help protect Jennifer. From then on, Jennifer stayed with us and we occasionally took her to see Lisa in the hospital. After about 10 days, Jennifer, who had been so frail, started to look healthier and even smiled a bit. She grew fond of Sarah, almost as if they had been sisters forever. Just when I was happily watching the two of them play, I got a call from my mom back home. "Joseph just showed up at the house," she said. "I am demanding to know where Lisa and Jennifer are. Hand them over right now." "I got scared and gave him your address. I'm sorry. Get out of there before he finds you." I was hurriedly getting the kids ready to leave when the doorbell rang multiple times. Could it be Joseph already? I peered outside, and sure enough, there he was, face red with anger. Seeing him like this, something in me snapped. Despite Lisa withering away, Joseph looked like he'd put in weight, even getting chubby. I opened the door and Joseph immediately started accusing me. "Heard you got remarried and live in a nice house, enjoying the high life, huh?" "That's none of your business," I retorted. "I know Lisa and Jennifer are here. Bring them out now." "Even if they are, I can't hand them over to you." "I need Lisa to work or we don't have money. Bring her out." At that moment, Jennifer burst out and screamed, "I hate you, Dad. You always bullied Mom." "What did you say, you little brat?" Joseph tried to slap Jennifer, but I immediately stepped in between. "Lisa is in the hospital because of you. She's sick because you forced her to work and didn't allow her to get medical treatment." I had read about Joseph's recent behavior in a letter from Lisa that was inside the charm Jennifer was wearing. When Lisa got pregnant, she and Joseph left home together. Soon after Jennifer was born, they were broke and struggling. Joseph then began verbally abusing Lisa and Jennifer, saying, "This is all your fault." He took all the money Lisa earned from her job at a bar and squandered it on gambling and fun. They were left without even food. Eventually, the stress piled up and Lisa fell ill, but they had no money for medical care. My sister had written, "I won't be able to raise Jennifer if things keep going like this. At least I want to save our child." So she thought it would be best to entrust this matter to me. However, when Joseph heard it, far from showing remorse, he spat out foul words. "Lisa and Jennifer are to blame for everything. They ruined my life. It's only right that they make amends. I don't know what sort of life you've been leading, but you've brought all this upon yourself. It's all your own doing." "No, Lisa came on to me. I had no choice but to get involved. It's all her fault." "You got to be kidding me. You're the adult here, and you took advantage of a young girl like Lisa. You've done terrible things to my sister and Jennifer. I'll have you prosecuted." "You have no proof. Still think so after seeing this?" I showed Joseph pictures of Jennifer covered in bruises as well as medical reports saying Lisa also had bruises all over her body. Joseph's face changed for a moment, but he soon began to taunt me again. "See? Women are so foolish. Who's to say who caused those bruises? Especially with Jennifer. It could have been her mother." "You're a despicable man. I have more evidence. Take a look at this." I showed him a mobile phone entrusted to me by Lisa. The phone contained audio clips of Joseph spewing abuse and committing acts of violence, providing ample evidence. Suddenly, Joseph lunged at me, trying to snatch the phone away. "Stop it. What are you doing?" At that moment, Michael and the police arrived, raising their voices and pulling Joseph's grabbing hand away from me. Actually, right after receiving a call from my mother, I had contacted my husband and the police. "Joseph, what you've done to my sister and Jennifer is unforgivable. I'll be handing all the evidence over to the police. You better reflect on your actions." Joseph was immediately taken away in a police car. Michael looked at me with a mix of disbelief and concern, letting out a sigh. "You should have waited for me. What you did was reckless. I'm sorry, I just couldn't stand Joseph anymore." "Are you hurt?" As he said this, looking me over for injuries, I felt so grateful that I had married this man. That night, we got a call from the hospital. Lisa's condition had suddenly worsened and she was critical. I rushed there with Jennifer. Lisa was barely breathing but still conscious. Hang in there. Joseph is arrested now. You're safe. Susan, I'm sorry I messed up. Don't say that. I'm the one who introduced you to that horrible man. This isn't your fault, Lisa. Thank you. Please take care of Jennifer. Don't worry, I'll look after her until you get better. You need to hang on. Jennifer gripped Lisa's hand tightly, tears streaming down her face. Mom, Jennifer, I'm sorry. I'll be watching over you from the sky. Be a good girl. Mom, I'll be good. I want to be with you. Mom, Jennifer. And with that, Lisa lost consciousness. My sister passed away quietly the next day. Our prayers went unanswered. If I had stayed with Joseph, my daughter and I might have faced a similar fate. I wonder if Lisa became my stand-in. I can't shake that feeling. After the trial, Joseph was sentenced to prison. My parents filed for compensation and child support from Joseph. His parents apologized for their son's actions and offered to cover the costs. They promised to make him work to pay them back after his release. Jennifer chose to live with us, so we plan to adopt her. The compensation and child support will be saved for her future. Now, Sarah looks up to Jennifer like a real sister. Seeing them together reminds me of my own sister and me when we were young. I'm committed to supporting both of them as they grow up.